this is ASMR. Want a bit of relaxation. How are you doing? I feel like having not uploaded for around a week or so, it always feels like forever. I am sorry that I haven't been able to upload as much as I would like, but I have been travelling about and having a wonderful time, but of course missing you guys. So today I thought it would be nice just to have a little sit, a little stretch, and a little chat. I thought that would be quite nice. Now, before I get started with the video, and no, it's not sponsored, I just wanted to say a big personal thank you to MV. MV very kindly bought me a brand new camera which I am currently shooting on. This is actually the very first time I'm shooting on it, so if there are any sort of issues, any focusing issues, things like that, we will get that fixed. But for now, we're doing our best. My camera that I've been using for years has been broken the last few months. The whole back of the screen has come off. The underside doesn't really work properly with putting the card in. The memory card slot's broken, all of these things, and the screen has got a little bit of damage on the lens. It's been a nightmare to use. And I arrived home yesterday to a package, and it was MV saying happy birthday. And by the time this goes out, this means it will be my birthday tomorrow. Yes, that's right. Yes. And yeah, it was a big happy birthday from MV and this new camera. So MV, thank you so much. You've always been so supportive, as has everyone watching this video, just from commenting and liking and being nice and awesome and silly and fun in the comments. So thank you so much, and yeah, I'm really excited to have my hands on a new piece of kit. Anyway, I thought we'd start with a nice little stretch, and if you've joined me for one of these styles of videos before, then you can follow along, or you can just sit and relax. I'm just gonna start by stretching up my arms. Now, I will actually be going to my yoga class later on, so I feel like this is a bit of pre-yoga stretching. So stretching up towards the ceiling, really getting a nice elongated spine. I have been travelling about so much over the past few weeks that I have a very bad back, so it's nice to do some stretching. You can then try and join the back of our sort of hands together, so we can go this and we can go like this. I'm just going to check. Yes, that looks okay. And you can sort of link it at the back. If you can't sort of join the fingers, that's okay. It just gives a lovely stretch. And we can do the same on the other side. And here my shoulder click. The lovely thing about stretching is you don't have to overdo it. You don't have to be in any pain. You can just go with the flow. Nice. You can do some nice little shoulder rolls as well. You can literally hear my shoulders clicking, so I do apologise for just rolling the shoulders back and forward. I always think it's funny when you watch yourself doing things like this, because obviously, particularly in something like a yoga class, there aren't mirrors, so it's always quite funny when you can see yourself in the reflection. Okay, nice. So as mentioned, along with the stretching, I thought we'd have a little chit chat and see how you are. Please let me know in the comments. I hope you've been well. If you are in the UK, like myself, then you'll probably have been experiencing some of the hot weather that we've been having. It's always very funny. You can always tell a Brit because we bang on about the weather. We love it. We love just chatting about the weather and whether it's going to rain, whether it's going to be sunny or cloudy or all the things. So, yes, it's been rather hot and we had a little bit of sort of a break in the weather this week with some storms. I was actually in Amsterdam at the weekend and our flight got cancelled because of the weather, and the lady at the desk was like, but what's wrong with the weather? She's like, hasn't it been hot? And we were like, yeah, we thought so, but I think it was to do with some wind. You know how delicate planes are, can't have any wind. So, yes, but ended up making it back in one piece. Yeah. Anyway, whilst I chit-chat away, I'm just going to do a nice stretch sort of over. I'm just placing my hand like this on the floor. I'm sitting cross-legged as well, just in case you can't tell. And this is really good if you have any kind of sort of maneuverability issues. Yes, that's what I want to say, because just doing yoga, just sitting down, you don't have to be in any fancy positions. You can sit down, you can stand up. So yeah, this is more stretching than yoga though, perhaps. Anyway, so just gonna lift our arm up, just nice and straight. Always align yourself with your ear, and then we can just lean a bit. You can hear my back. Some nice added cracking sounds for you. And this creates a lovely stretch just along the spine, just making sure not to hold too much pressure over here. Perfect. We can come back down, and we can stretch back up and reach over to the other side. And you can go like a lot lower if you want to, but we'll just do a nice gentle stretch, I think. I think it's a day for gentle stretches. Nice. I always think it's good to have a little stretch when you wake up in the morning. Some people like to stretch before they go to bed, and either works or both, but I do like a bit of a morning stretch if I can. So yeah. So I thought for anyone who is interested, I might have a little bit of a waffle about the last few weeks. So really, I guess the start of the travels would be up to Scotland, and this was to see Scottish mamas, Esma, the lovely Lauren, and we had a really lovely time, and I got to see some baby chicks. You may have seen this on my Instagram, which I'm very bad at uploading on. You may have seen this. And then I can't even think where it was. I was somewhere. And then I guess the next plane-based travel, I was in Spain. I was in Spain, that's where I was. for Lauren's hen do. So Lauren, if you weren't aware, she has made it public that she's getting married, and I am very excited to be one of her bridesmaids. And we went on a hen do to Spain, and I'm sure Lauren will be very honest and open in saying that it wasn't quite what we were expecting. It turned out to be such good fun, but we basically were in the middle of nowhere and surrounded by these broccoli fields. We thought it was cabbage for a long time, eventually found out it was broccoli. And yeah, we did wine tasting, we did an art class, we went to a beach club, a lovely restaurant, so it was all really lovely. It was just a very funny moment, turning up and realising we were in the middle of nowhere, but it made for a good story, so it's all good. Yeah, we're just going to take the hands behind us as well, just to give sort of the back of our shoulders a lovely stretch. This is always really nice, especially if you suffer with any postural issues. This is always a good one. Just going to have a little check, I think this all looks good, I think. It's always very interesting with a new camera because I can look at the screen here and I can sort of, unless I'm blind. Are we okay, guys? What if I come really close? I don't know. We'll have to have a little think afterwards. I think we look in focus. Okay, sorry. Okay, nice stretch. So yes, went on the hen do. Great fun. And then just a few days later, I had to repack my case and I headed off on a family holiday to Corfu. Some of you may know that I actually went to Corfu last year. Corfu is a Greek island and it is just picturesque and beautiful. I had just the best time. I was unfortunately a little bit unwell. I think perhaps from the hen do and just sort of, it was a bank holiday weekend, very busy and lots of trams and stuff about. And yeah, I ended up with a little bit of a cold, and unfortunately for the first sort of few days I did feel a little bit poorly, but managed to still have a great time. My favourite thing to do really anywhere and everywhere is eat. So yes, I think if you're able to eat and enjoy food, hello, just eat. It's the best. And I have a sweet tooth and there was just the best desserts, and yeah, and Greek people are so lovely, and if you want to say sort of I guess good day sort of thing, or good morning, you can say kalamera, and if you want to say good evening, kalispera. So there you go. That's all the Greek that I shall share with you, because I have a very poor memory, but I always think it's nice to give the language a go wherever you are, even if it is just hello and please and thank you. At least you're making an effort, so I think that's good. Okay, I think we should do a little bit more stretching, and this time I think we can focus on our neck, and we're just going to do some nice neck rolls. Now if this particularly hurts, don't strain your neck. I'm going to go back like a semicircle, down like a semicircle, and then all the way around. Okay. Oh, and you can hear my neck and down. One of the things in Corfu that surprised me last year, apart from obviously like the lovely people, the beautiful buildings, the culture, everything. If you are a little bit of a shopper like myself, the one thing they are not short of is jewellery, and a lot of it is very, very reasonably priced, and I come away with so many necklaces. So you can sort of see it's lovely sort of turquoise and gemstones. Yeah, I love a bit of turquoise for the summer. It's always nice. I'm a beach girl at heart, so you know, anklets, all the little bracelets, nice sort of blue jewellery, nice. So yes, I've also just noticed with this camera that we are still recording, and it's like 18 minutes in. With my old camera, it would stop every 16 minutes, so I'm going to be intrigued as to when this stops. We've done our neck rolls, we've done our shoulder rolls, we have done some arm stretches, and one thing I really like to do is some sort of just wrist rolls. Our wrists, and we can sort of shake out our hands. That's always nice. I am double jointed, and my hands are particularly arthritic-y from years of just bending them and trying to impress people at school. So they get pretty sore, and especially if I'm sort of typing or doing things on my laptop all day. It's not great. So nice little wrist. Just looking how synchronised I am. I reckon I could go in for the synchronised wrist competition. Oh, I lost it then. I got too cocky. Now, you won't be able to see this, but what I'm going to do is just stretch one leg out. So if you are sitting cross-legged, you can just stretch one leg out to the side. Get a really nice stretch on the inside of your upper thigh, and it's just really, really nice to just feel that stretch. The leg muscles get super tight, so it's good to stretch it out. You can just hold that there just for as long as it feels comfortable. I'm not maintaining super good posture at the moment, just while I'm sort of leaning down on my leg a bit. But just sit however you feel comfortable. Don't sit super like hunched over, because that's not good. But just sit sort of nice and comfortably. So after my time in Corfu, I had a weekend, and then I was off to Paris. This was with Lauren again, and it was sort of, I guess, a bit of a hybrid thing. We like to do something around this time to, I guess, sort of do a little nod to both of our birthdays that fall in May and June. And as part of Lauren's birthday present, I got her tickets for Disneyland Paris. And I have never seen Lauren so happy as she was in Disneyland Paris. And I have to say, I am not the, most overwhelmingly, amazed, excited Disney fan. I'm just going to move my leg back. I'm going to do the other side of the leg now, just so you're aware. Nice. Yeah, I'm fan. I love a Disney film, but I wouldn't say I'm like a super fan. I'm also not a big fan of rides. But you know, I was excited, and I've never been. I've been to Disney World in Florida when I was 7, and remember having a good time. So yeah, a lot of people think that going to Disneyland as an adult, especially an adult without kids, is a little bit odd. However, the park was filled with adults with no kids. I mean, there were kids there, but I mean, there are a lot of people and of all ages. And it was honestly one of the best days. It was so much fun, and some highlights included the Ratatouille ride, where you go around as though you are you have the rat's point of view. Is it Remy? Yes. And I loved the Buzz Lightyear one where you had to shoot the little targets, and there was one where you drove a little car. It's good fun. And the Tower of Terror did terrify me. I don't like that feeling of your stomach dropping. That's not a good feeling. And Lauren loves that feeling, and I was like, Lauren, you are crazy. You are a crazy woman. Yeah. But anyway, it was a really good day, and we started off our journey, and we actually missed our Eurostar in London. Top tip: if you are travelling by Eurostar, which for anyone who's not aware is a train which takes you from London to Paris in a couple of hours, arrive 90 to 60 minutes beforehand. Neither of us had got this before, and we were both turned away when we turned up about half an hour before. So yes, you have to go through passport control and security, and it is very much like an airport experience. So we were booked onto a later train later in the day, so we ended up arriving sort of in the evening rather than the afternoon. But it wasn't the end of the world, because I got to go and see the Dinosaur Museum. Well, it's the Natural History Museum, but yeah, it was the best. For anyone who is a fan of dinosaurs, please get yourself to the Natural History Museum in London. It's one of my favourite places. And they've got a new, I think it's called Gigantosaur, but it was, I thought, originally called the Patagotitan, because it was discovered in Patagonia. But anyway, it's a blooming massive dinosaur, and if you like dinosaurs, then it's the place to be. So that's what we did to bide our time before we came to Paris, and then we did all the touristy things. So got up the Eiffel Tower, went all the way to the top, and saw all the sights, and had a lovely river cruise, and ate nice food, tried frog's legs, very nice, and yeah, just had an absolutely amazing time. It was really good fun. Walked the equivalent of a marathon, and yeah, it was great. It was really great. On that note, we can try some more stretching. So I'm just going to come a little bit further back. I am on my rug. We'll see what the autofocus does here. I can see that it's out at the moment. Has it adjusted? Oh, it may have done, guys. That's very exciting, isn't it? Oh, okay. So, what we can do here is we can just do some nice little side moves. So this is just rolling on the hip. We've gone for a grey theme today, guys. What do we think? I do love a comfy track band. Yeah. It's a nice rolling. Now we're at about 26 minutes and the camera hasn't stopped, and guys, I'm scared. hasn't it stopped? When's it gonna stop? Oh no. No, it'll be fine, you're right, it'll be fine. Okay, good. Okay, I'm trying to think of some nice moves that we can do on the floor together. What we can, of course, do, and I don't know if you'll be able to see me, but we can do a little side leg lift. So typically this is going to involve, and I'm not going to lie all the way down because you won't see me because I'll be all the way down there. But you can sort of do it without completely laying, and you just literally want to like lift your leg up and down. This is actually surprisingly hard to do when you're not completely flat. Typically you'd be nice and flat, and you can, I'll just go for a second, and we can just lift the leg up and down. Oh, nice little creak. And you want to keep the leg as straight as possible. And just really taking the time, give myself a nice toe point. That's my sort of 3 ballet lessons worth there that I did. And then we can, of course, do the other side. Got my nice fluffy cushion here. Always good to be somewhere nice and comfy. And we'll just do the other side. Oh. We'll do a couple more. Nice. Oh. Now, whilst we are on the floor, we can take the time to do something like a child's pose, which is where you'll sort of literally be on your knees and lean forward as far as you can with your head and forehead to the ground. We could do cobra, which is where you sort of bring yourself up. And we can also do cat and cow. I think maybe we can do a bit of cat and cow. Just checking. Yes, we're alive. The camera cut out, guys, at about 29 minutes, so that is amazing. Okay. So you're sort of hip width apart, and normally what you do is as you draw your breath in, you want to go in and arch your back up, okay? So we're going to go like this, and then breathe out, and sort of drop the stomach to the floor, and the head goes back. See how that looks? And we'll pull up and back. We're just checking that I look like I'm, slightly normal. And we can just repeat that a few times. Let's drink in and drink out. Nice. I like the fact that this is called cat and cow, because it definitely does make me think of a cat and a cow. Wow, Lucy, what a great explanation. Oh dear. Well, if you guys have been following along, you've done an awesome job. Let's sit for a moment. Should we sit? Yes. Good. After Paris and that lovely time, I arrived back and the very next day went to Amsterdam. And it was the best. I feel like I need to think of Another cinnamon. Cinnamon. Why am I just saying cinnamon? I feel like I need to think of another word and also not hit myself in the face. It was perfect. Yeah. I have never been to Amsterdam before, and for fun, I downloaded Duolingo. I love Duolingo. I love Babbel, and I love all these language apps. Just, keep myself open if anyone wants to sponsor me there. But I did download Duolingo, and for anyone who wants to learn a language, I can highly recommend it. As I said, all the language apps are great, but I like the cuteness of Duolingo. And what makes me laugh about it though is that you often don't learn the basic sort of chat. You'll learn things like, I don't know, some fruit, and I learned, so the word for girls is meisje. De meisje heb brood. Het meisjes eten en brood. The girls eat bread. That's probably not right. I think I need to work on my Duolingo a bit more. But anyway, it makes me laugh. So I tried to learn little bits of Dutch, and I think it's one of those things where you're learning the language and you're doing it on the app, and then when it comes to practically doing it, and everyone speaks English there, you're just a bit like, oh, hello. Oh dear. But it was amazing. Pancakes were amazing. I personally loved the red light district. It was a great time. I loved the canals. We went on a boat. It was great. It's great. We did one of the self-drive boats, and I had to do the map, and I'm not sure it was great, but there was a point where we pulled up and we stopped on the side, and I needed to hold fort, and I used my below deck watching skills, and I tied up the boat with some rope, and I was very impressed with myself. I was very impressed, guys. So yes, it was beautiful. If you're considering going to a European city, I would highly recommend Amsterdam. It felt a bit more accessible than Paris, in the terms of the trams are so easy to use and they're so well connected. Everything felt quite close. I appreciate it's a very, very large city, and we only covered a small portion of it, but everything felt very close, and it was stunning. I absolutely love architecture, and seeing all the buildings was just incredible. And we went to the Rijksmuseum. That isn't a correct pronunciation of it, but that is a museum and art gallery. I actually have a picture from it here, and that was just, it sort of blew my mind, really. There was a new Rembrandt piece in, seeing Vermeer and all these beautiful classic sort of paintings. I love so many of the Dutch painters, so it was amazing to go to. So yeah, well, I feel like I have waffled about all my trips. My sort of last flight, or planned flight anyway, is up to Scotland for Lauren's wedding. And yeah, then I think I'm going to kick back at the beach and just not move for the foreseeable, and get some work in. Yeah, try and run a business, try and film, and sunbathe and eat. Yeah. Well, for our final little bit of peace, let's close our eyes together. And I want us to think about something that we are really grateful for. I know that for me, whenever I've got lots of things on, I tend to feel very stressed and overwhelmed, and often I can get into quite a negative headspace. I can find myself feeling quite low because I feel stressed, and I am always surprised and grateful to myself that I'm able to get out of that funk and actually just be in the moment and enjoy and try and not think too far ahead. And yeah, I feel very lucky and grateful to have been to all of these places and have very special people in my life. And yeah, so I want us all just to take a moment of calm and just think about something that makes us happy, something that we're grateful for, something that maybe we've overcome. Just take that moment. It could be anything at all. It could literally be that you're grateful for your super amazing shower that you have in the morning, or you're grateful that the sun is out, or you're grateful for your super cozy bed. It could be anything at all. Just something that makes you smile, makes you feel good. Yeah. And we all have bad days. We all have disappointments. We all have stresses, worries, anxieties. But I think if we can just find these pockets of happiness and feel good vibes, then that's good. And I bumped into an old friend the other day, and he very openly came out and said that he was attending therapy, and he'd gone through a bad breakup, and it made me smile and feel good in the sense that we now live in a place where it's okay to be so open about therapy and about getting help and not feeling 100% okay. And especially men statistically can be a little bit more closed off. My stomach be a bit more closed off, and I think it was just good for him to feel open. So that was a nice moment, and I'm pleased that we can feel comfortable to talk and stuff. So I hope you've got a nice thought in your mind, and I want you to remember that you are loved, you are safe, and everything is going to be okay. And my most favourite saying, well, I have two. Comparison is the thief of joy. I think that's very, very true. And I suppose my most favourite saying is, everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, then it's not the end. So I want you to hold on to that and know that even right in this moment, if you're going through something that's a bit rubbish, something you feel really bad about or stressed about or sad about, whether you're going through a breakup, whether you're having difficulty at work or school or college, family issues, whatever you're going through, or maybe you just feel a bit lost or bored or stuck, it will be okay. It will be okay. Take a nice deep breath in and open your eyes when you're ready. Well, good news that the camera does still appear to be on. That's good. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate this was just a bit of a ramble and a little bit of an amateur stretch. But I just wanted to thank you all so much for still watching. I know my content isn't groundbreaking. I know that I'm not producing cinematic pieces or I'm not doing anything incredible, but I've made over 800 videos over the years and I still love ASMR, and some of my most favourite recent things to watch have been more lifestyle sort of vlogs, which are just naturally relaxing, and I hope that you really enjoyed this today. So whether you're about to go to sleep, you're about to go to work or school, or you're just having a little mid-afternoon chill out, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and please leave me a comment if you would like to, maybe to say if you're jetting off anywhere this summer or where you would like to go. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you on the next video.